This is Jesper. Jesper's story needs to be shared wide and far because we can all learn from him. You may recognize him. I recently shared the socks that his family gifted me. Could we have everybody go to a different place that is not treatment for just a split second? We're going to get Jesper into radiology. Thanks, Cassie. When you guys go up there, can you let them know that we have Jesper coming in and not to come back for a minute? Good morning. We have a high FAS patient who is entering the building and going into radiology, so please just hang here for a minute. Okay. Thank you. Of course, Danny. Best laid plans.
I live dangerously. I like the thrill of it. I got time I can do it.
I got that on video. FAS 5 veterinary care is highly specialized and requires the entire team's efforts. It has taken years to develop systems and protocols at my hospital to serve these unique patients. This also means that FAS 5 patients rarely receive veterinary care, and when they do, it is usually a cursory experience to keep vaccines current. What we also know more and more is that patients with behavior challenges almost always have a physical comorbidity. Jesper is no exception. After several telemedicine appointments, a careful review of his previous history, and a couple no-contact visits, we were able to perform a sedated wellness exam. Much to our shock, the blood work revealed extremely elevated renal values, like he should have been very, very sick. His family had no concerns at home. Upon further questioning, the only thing we determined is he may have had a history of more frequent than typical bathroom trips.
Yeah. Almost 10 pounds. 74 before. All right, so we're going to come right through here.
So given that, Michaela, given that, let's look at the dextometer gel. We might adjust that a little bit.
So hold on one second, I'm going to grab that dose then.
We then carefully planned an internal medicine ultrasound at our hospital to determine the significance of these values. Sometimes sedation can cause changes that do not involve an underlying pathology. This is the process we go through to get Jesper into our hospital safely. You can move that cart this way if you want to do a circle with him. Yeah.
Good job. So with that weight loss, like Dr. Cole said, we're going to just recalculate. So right in there. And I apologize, there aren't chairs. We're limited on space.
That's okay.
But if you need more blankies, that silver cabinet right there. Ready? You've got it.
I know a new person.
So much processing.
You're doing such a good job. Look at it. Ready?
Doors are a big deal.
Can you just like try to call him in there?
Maybe if you sit down, yeah. Michaela, if you switch, if Carly holds and you go in, will he?
Jesper! Come here. Hey! Hey, bud.
Jesper! You're all right, bud. I know.
Oh, sweetie.
Ready?
It's okay, Jesper.
There you go. Process it.
Can we down? Good. I'm so good.
Max to the rescue. Yep, shut that door. Yep. Thank you.
Much to our shock and horror, Jesper's kidneys were profoundly diseased.
We're spinning it right
to
now,
make matters worse, his renal values were more elevated and his hematocrit was 10%. He was so anemic that it was not consistent with life. He needed an immediate transfusion and hospitalization. We called the blood bank so the family could pick up packed red cells and were told that they would not have any blood products to sell for 23 weeks. Gratefully, we have a handful of employee pets who qualify as blood donors and a veterinarian who worked at a blood bank. We collected blood, initiated the Chowder protocol, and prepared the hospital to set up Jesper and his family in their new home for the week.
By my education.
something.
Okay, let me know. We're gonna pass right that here.
Jesper and his family were escorted through the hospital to their suite, where they would stay for 4 days of fluid therapy. We started his transfusion, monitoring IV fluid therapy, medications, and ordered more diagnostics. The family went home for 10 to 12 hours overnight to give everyone a break. His family stayed with him in our small room for 4 consecutive days, and on the last day, we administered darbepoetin to stimulate red blood cell production and discharged him from the hospital to his family's continued care at home. Jesper now returns every 2 weeks and has adjusted to a system that works for him. Our best determination is that Jesper had an infection as a puppy and suffered for years without showing any symptoms. Only because his new family is so diligent and determined did he finally get the care he needs. Shout out to Jesper's family. They are amazing and dedicated beyond imagination. We appreciate the opportunity to stretch the limits of how we practice veterinary medicine. Shout out to Danny, our VTS behavior credentialed technician who worked around the clock to care for Jesper. Shout out to Chowder, another high FAS patient who had previously tested our limitations and paved the way for an alternative approach to hospitalization. Shout out to Ruby, an equally spicy FAS5 kitty with her own comorbidities, whose donation of a very expensive and special order medication allowed us to treat Jesper in a timely and life-saving fashion. And shout out to Favor, without her magical blood, we'd be nowhere.